Hello everyone. Today is the 14th video of my database management systems question video series, and today I'm going to do the fourth video of the uh, fourth day of database management systems, and this question is going to be the 14th question of the question list. And uh, if you watch my previous videos, you know we are continuing a previous question, actually the question 11. In this question, I think we have to continue that question. That question. Uh, Here we are in the previous question 13. We completed this one and created these tables. Let's go to the question, today's question. Here's the day 4 and question 14. You can see in this question we don't have to do anything complicated. Only we have to do uh, uh, only we have to do is creating a table. uh, so I think this video will not going to run too long. Let's read this question and answer for uh, the question. The store owner says he wants to use the software to get a description of the goods sold at the end of the day. To do this, create a table called invoice. Uh, Follow these instructions below. Okay, we have to follow these instructions in order to create this table called invoice. Here are the attributes inside that table. Invoice ID, it's going to be the primary key, and it's also it should auto incremented, and the data type is int. And here are the other attributes. Date, it's going to store a value which is in date format, and here's the quantity and the total value. Okay, it's a very simple table. uh, so I'm going to create that one. First, I'm going to create it in my ER diagram. You can see we are in Workbench software, and here are the tables we created in the early videos. Let's create a new table for our table called invoice. Here I created a table, and let's edit this table by right click on the table we created and click on the edit table. Let's rename this table to uh, invoice, and here are the attributes. First one is invoice ID with the data type of int, and here's the date, quantity, and total. Invoice ID, and I'm checking the auto increment option, and then here's the date attribute, and here's the quantity. QTY means the quantity, and here's the last one, total. Okay, I'm changing the data types now. Here's the date attribute, and I'm changing it to date. That will store values in date formats only, and I'm changing the quantity to double. I told you before, usually we use quantities. We use integer values in quantities, but in the question you can see the data type is defined as double, so I'm not going to change that one. But keep that in mind. Usually the quantity is going to be an integer value, and here's the total. I think that's going to be a price. So I'm changing it to double. Okay, here we completed our table called invoice, and uh, we only changed the ER diagram. We didn't make these changes into our table. So in order to do that, we have to click on the database tab, and here you can see the synchronize model. And in the dialog box, here you have to enter the credentials and press next, again next, and here's the database we are going to make the changes. And here's the table we are inputting or inserting in our table right now, and press next. Here's the final part. Press the execute button. You can see the synchronization executed without any errors. So the synchronization completed successfully. Then you can press the close button. I will show the table we created using the HDSQL browser. You can see here's the HDSQL software, and then you have to refresh. I told you in my previous video you have to refresh in order to see the changes in our database. So I press on the refresh button, and then you can see here's the invoice table we created. And I think that's it for this video, and thank you very much for watching.